Hey everyone, welcome back to M&M PTE NAATI. This is Manmohit. Guys, I'm very excited today to have Sukriti with us, who I asked to join considering she has not just cleared her exam but with such a massive score. So I would not take the light from you, Sukriti. First of all, thank you so much for joining with us. And can you please start by sharing what scores have you got in this exam?
Yeah, of course. So I gave the exam after the changes happened. So initially the plan was to give it before 7th, but due to some reasons I could not book it, and then the slots were all booked. So the latest slot I could get was 16th August. So yeah, I got a 90 each in each section, and very happy, of course, because I did not expect. I mean, I was panicking a lot because there were a lot of changes
Yeah.
in the exam pattern, and of course, with the human intervention and other things. So, and my preparation was all based on the previous pattern. So, I was quite happy when I got that score. So, yeah, thank you so much for all your help and assistance throughout this process. So, it really helped.
Absolutely, and that was the main point that all happened after the changes, and we know it was such a critical time for all of us that we knew that we have been learning some things in the old way, but then we also had to make sure that if we are giving the exam after the changes happening, so there have to be some tweaks, some changes that are like that we have to have in our way of performing the topics, all
Yeah.
happening on the spot, but still, like, it was a critical time. But at the end, I'm so glad we are on the other side, considering me
Yeah.
and Mohit ourselves have to give the exam first on 7th August when the changes happened, because we just can't teach the new things if we
Exactly.
ourselves are not confident, plus if we ourselves are not sure
Exactly.
what scores are we going to get with the new methods. But I'm
Yeah.
glad you stick to that. You were patient enough, you were like ready to still learn and have those amendments on the spot. And I'm so glad it just didn't work out right. It just worked out in a perfect way. And 90 each is like the maximum you can get anyway. Now, Sukriti, obviously you did share that you were with us for a bit, for a month and a half, and you were taking feedback on that. Do you want to share something on that? Like, how was your experience with the feedback that you were getting, like the one-on-one feedback?
Yeah, so like we had a Telegram group with yourself, Mohit, and me. I think that was really helpful because you guys were very responsive, even on the weekends, because I usually used to only get time on the weekends to do my practice. So I had that strategy. So my lessons, what I need to do every day, the study plan, which was good because earlier I was spending a lot of time on useless topics like MCQs. I remember before I joined, when I was doing my own self practice, I would spend like a lot of time doing those questions, which actually didn't
Yeah.
have any score or any like marking. So that really helped because when I gave the exam, you won't believe my exam finished just 1 minute before. I just had 1 minute left at the end. And I can imagine if I would have spent all my time doing those reading questions and listening questions, I wouldn't have like been able to finish the exam on time. So having, that sort of help from your side about what is the score, what is the preparation strategy, the templates. I remember you guys shared the updated templates as well for the essays and other speaking modules and everything. That was a very good structure. But also, I remember Mohit always used to say that content is now going to matter more. So, like, the template is not just something that you just go and
Exactly.
just write. You need to add your own relevant content, and it's just a structure that you follow. So, I did send a lot of updated essays with his feedback based on the word count and other things that he mentioned. I think that really helped because I think I wrote a pretty good, like, I wrote a 280 word essay. So that helped with the essay and with the describe image. That was something I was really struggling with because I was not able to, like, I was taking a lot of pauses when describing images, especially those images that didn't have a lot of information or keywords. So then he told me what strategies would help, like start with the left, right, top, bottom, and being fluent. So that was really good. And I think with that feedback itself, I felt more confident, even though he did suggest that I should wait a bit more. But I was like, I just want to give my exam and get it done with. So I just booked it and I went. But that was really useful, the feedback as well.
No, absolutely, and such a great point that we know how important feedback can be for any person. Literally, like you, if you are doing all the 22 topics in the exam, considering like especially after the changes, like the amount of time that they give us in reading section and even in the listening part, it's just not enough to give equal amount of time on every single question. So after we know that, okay, there are certain topics which are just there for a reason, like they're not going to give you any marks, they're just there. So
It's a trap.
exactly, it's a trap. So
Yeah.
once we know that these topics are just a trap kind of questions, they're not giving us any marks. After knowing these things, why would we even consider spending even a single second? And the time that we save from those topics, we can then devote that time to the other important tasks. And this is what we call smart time management. And this exam is not just about the English. Yes, that is one part of it, but there are so many different other things like technicalities of the exam, understanding the software. Plus, at the same time, we know after the changes how much of a human intervention it's going to be in 7 topics now, not even 2 topics. So knowing that, and the thing is, and this is something I want to share with all the students out there, that it's not that if a computer flags the responses, only in that case a human being is assigned. Like, this is a big misconception out there. It's a random basis as well. Like, yeah, that is one thing, that if your templates are picked up by a computer software, then a human would be assigned. But they can
Mm.
also pick your exam randomly at their
Yep.
discretion, because they have no such rule that they can only do it in one case. If they want to,
Mm.
they can. And
Mm.
we just have to prepare for the worst always. Like, we just can't rely that and gamble with our money and with our time, that okay, if a human doesn't check it, I'll get my scores, and if a human checks it, I will not get my scores. Like, we don't, like, we're
Yeah.
not going to pay, like, exams, like paying money for exam after exam, and just trying to see when we get our scores. But Sukriti,
I
one
agree.
final thing, for all the students out there, since you have just given the exam and gotten a perfect score, what would you advise to those people? They also want to get that superior 20 points for their permanent residency. What would be your advice on that?
I would say just practice a lot. Of course, consistency is
Absolutely.
important. I have spent more than 2.5 months practicing, regularly practicing. Even before I joined you guys, I was familiarizing myself with the topics and everything. And do follow the strategies and templates because they do work. Especially with, I forgot to mention the write from dictation, how you guys would, a 3-step method that
That's
really
it.
helped a lot because I would just write the short forms and then write the full forms and then write it on my computer screen. And the small tips and tricks that you guys mentioned, like putting the cap on for the marker, because it was my first time. I was very panicked because they gave me a writing board and a pen, and I think some of the students in the class mentioned that their pens dried out and then they
Yes.
panicked. So small things that you need to manage, time management, strategy. So of course, I think it's always good to get help from professionals who have been in this industry and doing this for a very long time. And again, putting your efforts into it, just and don't panic. It's just a hype that's out there a lot, and I was part of it too. I've experienced that. I was literally panicking. I was considering, should I do IELTS? Should I do something else? Am I going to get my score? But I think it's still possible because it's just practice and consistency and
Absolutely.
having great support from people like you. That
Awesome.
helped a lot.
Thank you so much, Sukriti, for such kind words. And
Oh,
you also cleared Nati Hindi with us, right? Recently?
yes, I
Yes.
did.
So
Yeah.
all I would say is congratulations on 25 PR points. And we know, and in this journey, like in Australia right now, the competition is insane, to the amount that without getting those 20 points and without getting those 5 points in Nati, it is just next to impossible to get a permanent residency, considering the competition is really high right now. So I'm,
Very
I'm
high.
really glad, all those 25 points, the big stress is done. It's now all
Yeah.
about you just being in the line, waiting for your turn. And I'm sure you are going to get your permanent residency extremely soon. Perfect. Guys, if you need any sort of help and support from us, me and Mohit, PT Academic, PT Core, Nati Hindi, Nati Punjabi, and Nati Gujarati, we're always there to support you. The number is there on the screen. The links are there in the description. You can contact us anytime. Talk to us first. We'll make a plan with you, because see, every single person is different. Their schedule is different. Their weak areas, strong areas, all those things. So we first need to talk to you to understand your situation, your scenario, where you are, where you want to be, so that we can plan with you, make a proper plan, study plan, organize everything with you, and will help you to clear these exams in your very first attempt. Guys, all the very best. If you have your exams coming soon, I wish you all the luck. Stay safe, and I will see you all in the very next video. And once again, Sukriti, thank you so much for joining with us and sharing your wonderful thoughts.
Thanks, Manmohan.
Thank you.
Thank you.